Hello viewers, welcome back to a little bit of a non-traditional video this week on the Grumpy Penguin. You're actually with me here in my studio workspace attached to my house. This is just kind of where I do all my video editing and kind of come to relax and unwind a little bit after the day. So I'm going to show you around, kind of let you see what I'm seeing, and then we're going to talk about something that isn't directly project related, but kind of is directly project related, and we'll go from there. All right, just figured I'd walk everybody around my workspace. I haven't really shown this off before, but figured I'd show a little bit of what's going on behind the scenes here. So just kind of a nice little workspace. Kind of have it set up to, it's kind of a private way to work, get some things done. So there you have it, seating for a couple of people. Some old movie posters, stuff I've made. All right, so that was the basic tour. And today I just kind of want to show you guys how you go from this big project folder to being organized digitally, so that while you're out at track or just in the shop and you don't have everything with you, how you can reference some of the things that you've done. This is a very extensive build process. It is years in the making, very long, and staying organized, I think, is key to both managing the project and doing further projects maybe in the future, or just keeping this project going, and just easy stuff like what's my brake master cylinders that I use. Well, I've got the part numbers here, and it's crammed into a folder, but it's not necessarily easy to reference. So the idea is to digitize most of this, and I'm going to kind of walk you through my process. The other thing I do a lot of is use these little notepads while I'm in the shop. I'm mostly through this one, and it's just a place where I jot down notes for, like, hey, reminder, don't forget to tighten these bolts to torque spec or whatever, because there was no weight on the car. Something simple like that, all the way up to this is all my custom wiring and pinouts that I've done. So it's kind of a mess. There's a lot of crossouts, a lot of redos. I've ripped pages out and had to redo it, but there are a lot of kind of customized things going on in this build that I need to keep track of and not just handwritten, or they're going to get lost. And then you're going to be kind of screwed, for lack of a better term. So I'm going to walk you through a little bit of the online process here, or on virtual process, I guess, that I'm using. I use a lot of Excel spreadsheets. If you don't have access to Excel, there's Google Documents that's free. You can also use Apple Numbers if you're a Mac guy like I am. Most of us YouTubers tend to use Macs. Not saying we all do. Some PC guys, mostly, gamers, stuff like that. I don't play video games, so, well, unless the Super Mario World 3 doesn't count, I don't think, anymore as being a gamer. Maybe a retro gamer, but yeah. So anyway, that's kind of the gist of what we're trying to do here, is just get organized, get it digital, and make it so that it can be accessed either via an iPad or a laptop somewhere on the road, and then some way to back all this stuff up. It's nice to have all this data, and I'm not going to throw any of this away. I'm going to keep all the original notes so that they can always be referenced, but having it digital just makes it a lot easier to stay organized and stay referenced. So you can kind of see that in my file structure folder. I'm going to cut away to some of this stuff. So what I've done with my Datsun project, because it's so extensive and because it's so big, is I've broken down the folder into individual components of the vehicle: brakes, CAD files that I've done, like my fan shroud, and I use LibreCAD for a lot of my 2D stuff that I send to, like, Send Cut Send. I also do use Fusion 360, but for the projects that I'm doing, I don't need to do a lot of modeling. I don't need to do a lot of CFD and strain, and quite frankly, I don't know the software well enough to do it properly, so it's garbage in, garbage out. If you do it wrong, it's going to be wrong information when you ultimately get to that point. So I'm a pretty basic CAD guy, did a lot of CAD in college, but it was mostly 2D. So I understand the 2D stuff very well, and I can get that drawn up, sent out to somebody that has the proper machinery that I will never own, and have those pieces made, brackets, little tow hooks. That's small projects that I'm trying to work on for this car. Then I've got like a folder of inspiration photos, it's important to have reference photos when you're doing some of these projects. My SR swap in the Datsun is not groundbreaking. It has been done many times before. The gentleman company, Sprizo, that I bought the kit off of for the install is great. He gives you a ton of reference photos, inspirational photos, things like that, to kind of show you how he did a lot of the work to make the swap work. So I like to keep those referenced as well, because there's a lot of times that I'll reference that even off of maybe a different car. Like, oh, this is really cool how they did the arrow on this Honda Civic. You know, they did the splitter in a really unique way. I'm going to probably try to copy some of that when I get to that point in my project. I've got a folder with manuals. We talked about that. I keep a folder of receipts. That is up to you guys personally if you want to do it. I don't add up every penny. That's not the point of the project or the point of the receipts folder. It's more just to reference maybe when I purchased a major item, or if the item has some kind of a warranty associated with it. I like to keep the receipts for that. Wiring data, again, is one of the bigger ones here as far as what wiring harness I've used, what reference points I've made. Everything is so custom at this point that I need to kind of keep a reference of what I've done. And then suspension stuff as well. You've seen the videos. I custom built that 4-link rear end. Well, not only do I need I have my 4-link calculator in here. This was the Excel file that I used. I've had a few people ask me, how do you stay organized when your years-long project is continuing? And how do you know what did you order 2 years ago and put on the shelf because you hadn't gotten to that component yet? And you pull it off the shelf, dust it off, and go, oh yeah, this was for the brake master cylinder, but I hadn't moved the firewall yet. So I didn't know what to put there. And how do you stay relevant with all of that data? And this is how I do it. Again, there could be software for this. There's usually a software solution for most things. It's just data management. You can do it manually, or you can use software. I'm sure there's something out there that kind of does that. I don't do these builds enough to know. I've got one. I do my Datsun. And I just try to stay organized a little bit and get organized. It's built up to me. I've got to do a lot of data entry over the next couple weeks here. So, but it's something I can do when it's a rainy day, don't feel like going out to the shop, what have you. It's nice to be able to sit down on the computer, turn the tunes on, and just kind of plug away at some data entry. So that's it. If you have any comments or suggestions, maybe you do this different. And you said, oh yeah, I put everything in one Excel spreadsheet. Holy crap, that would be huge. But that's a possibility. Or maybe that you've never even heard of this and your memory is your organization method. I don't trust my memory enough to know, but hey, a lot of people have better memories than I do. So let me know in the comments what you think. Is this helpful to anyone? I kind of hope that it is, but maybe it's just wasting your time. Maybe the viewership on this is going to be 2 views or something like that. So, but yeah, definitely let me know, and we'll be back to exciting Datsun content here soon. Just a little update on the garage. Coming up here in the next month or so, we're probably going to have some more Datsun videos, hopefully a first start right up against that point. I'm really hopeful that's going to be real soon. We're going to be pimping my wife's WRX out a little bit. She's got a 2020 WRX that I think has made an appearance on the channel once or twice. It's mostly stock, but it's time for that to change. So we have an HKS exhaust on order for it. That'll be very exciting when that comes in from Japan. And just going to be doing a mild street autocross build. So for those of you that autocross, you kind of know what that means. It's basically dampers, brakes, and a rear sway bar. So we're going to do that. And then there'll be some TVR videos coming up as well. I've got the suspension build for that. It's going to be coming out of storage. It's just in long-term storage right now. It's the middle of winter here in Ohio, and it's kind of gray and 42 degrees out today. So it's pretty cold. Definitely not convertible TVR weather. And then the last series of videos, probably in the next couple months, will be, before we get into race season, will be the trailer. I picked up a TrailX trailer from my good friend Robert, and it just needs going over. A couple little things need maintained on it. I'm going to make some changes and convert all the lights to LED and kind of just modernize it just a little bit. It's a 20-year-old trailer, so just needs a little help. Overall, it's great shape. The TrailX trailers are so cool. They're aluminum, modular. It's kind of like big Lego block sets. So I'll be looking for those videos, and like and subscribe, and we'll see you in the next video.